I think for the van and going with your dreams, like my overall thing would be pretty much to find your why and to find what you desire. Like figure out what you desire, what kind of lifestyle it is, and I desire a lifestyle of financial freedom and being able to go wherever, whenever, and do whatever on my time and not have anybody dictate that. And for me, I'm like, how are you gonna do it? Because everyone, oh yeah, I love to travel and want to travel. It's like, hey, well, what do? I work at Arby's. Are you doing something that works? Like I grinded. What's up guys, my name's Mitch Rose. I'm from Riverside, California, and this is my 1997 ambulance Wanda. Or forgetting the ambulance, I used to have a little van that I did live out of periodically before this. I needed something with a little bit more space and ended up telling myself not to go on Craigslist because I didn't need to buy another van, but I ended up breaking and I was scrolling on there looking for like something a little bigger, like a Class E or something like that, and like one of the first things I saw was the ambulance, and I was like, I saw that it had a 7.3 Power Stroke in it with only 105,000 miles, and they were asking $2,800, and I was like, that can't be right, like that doesn't make sense. So it looked like a similar place to my brother's fire station, so I texted him. He's a firefighter in Hurricane, Utah, and he was like, yeah, my chief's selling it. And I'm like, dude, tell him I want it, I'm coming tomorrow. And so the next day we woke up at like 5 in the morning, headed down to the station, and no questions asked, I just wrote him a check and gave it to him. I was a server at a Black Bear diner, and yeah, just, would make pretty good money as a young kid. I would think, like, there's full adults doing that, for their gigs. Then I graduated from high school and then started college, and college was definitely, something that a lot of people my age, are just pushed into, like that's what we're supposed to do. So I did it, and luckily I found Dixie State, which was why I moved early, to get like in-state tuition. It was only like $2,500 a semester, which I was able to pay for cash instead of getting loans and stuff, because I knew I didn't want to get into debt. So after my first semester of college, I ended up stumbling upon the documentary Minimalism, and it actually kind of started getting me thinking like of all the unnecessary things I had in my life, and I just felt like these subconscious things were just weighing me down as far as my belongings went, my things. And like one of my favorite quotes is like, the best things in life are not things. And I take that like so seriously because it's so true. At the time I really wanted a house. That was like my goal. I'm like, I was renting, paying around $1,000 a month for a 1-bedroom apartment, and I was like, why am I paying that much when I could save that much? And I was like, why? It doesn't make sense for me at such a young age. Why am I investing into some millionaire when I can be doing it myself? And so that's when I really took things within my own, I controlled what I can control. And I actually found a video on van life from Dylan Magister, this guy, and I saw the van tour, and I was like, dude, I had never thought of it, and I think that's how it is for a lot of people when they first see this. They had no idea, and they were like, gosh, that's so reasonable, it works, it's me. Welcome to the interior of Wanda. She's unfortunately not all finished up over here. Originally, I was planning on doing a stationary stovetop and sink. Right now, it does great for storage. It keeps my goldfish and my food and stuff. And then this one just keeps my coffee pot nice and stationary. This little swivel table here is pretty nice. Me and my dad found it, and just perfect piece of wood, and I just found an old tripod and cut one of the legs off and screwed it in, And there's a little handy table for you. It's like nice for my office for when I'm doing video editing or eating or whatever. Everything like cabinet wise or cupboard wise was already here. It's basically crazy how like much this was built just like an RV, as far as even outlets and like everything, except these were for medical things rather than you know, food and stuff. And then it's kind of nice to have these sliding things so nothing falls out. And like I said, everything was already built, so all I had to do was put my stuff in and just hit the road. This is a seat, but it also can like snap down, and it's another spot to put whatever I want. I try to keep it up though, because if it's down, I'm gonna start putting a lot of stuff and then junk just starts piling up, so tend to keep it in that mode. This seat actually lifts up, which a lot of people wouldn't think, and there's more storage down there, which is cool. And then right here is kind of like that junk drawer area, just lots of wires for, you know, I'll usually, like when I'm charging my drone and camera stuff, I'll pop this down and then plug in everything, and that's like my charging station. Under here, just like shoes and stuff. I got my fancy shoes in case you gotta dress up. You know, underwear and socks. And then up here, these slide, and I have more camera equipment. They slide and lift up like this, which is cool. But just got more camera equipment in here. This one, more camera equipment. This is what I use for real estate. It's a Matterport camera. It's like shoots 3D, creates 3D virtual tours through the home and stuff. And then once January started, I started my business, and I still was working at the diner this whole time, and you know, I was doing all right. Money was good. I would make money on the side with video, but I just was not happy. Every time I would go into work, it was just like, just draining, honestly. It wasn't me and my lifestyle, and I was like, something's got to change. And like, the van definitely kicked me to like do it harder, you know. And a lot of times when I'd get time off, I would just bounce and go somewhere that I didn't know and just wander, you know. After I finished school for the semester, they ended up messing with my schedule without talking to me, and it really pissed me off. But I had like 5 days in a row off, and I'm like, you know what, dude, instead of you know, going off and wandering, like, what can you do to like make yourself like better? Like, what can you do to launch yourself into this video stuff? So I ended up contacting a real estate agent in the area and was like, hey, do you mind if I shoot this house for you, do a couple pictures? She's like, yeah, because no one would trust me with my work. So I went out, shot it for free, took a couple pictures, sent it to her. The next day, it was like, got a phone call that was like, dude, there's a job opening position for a videographer with this real estate group. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, it was that easy, you know. And then down here is just like bedding, heavy jackets, stuff like that. This also lifts up, but it's so packed it's gonna explode out, so try to keep that shut. I also had to install this AC unit because where I live, it's like, it's ridiculously hot. Like, it stays over hundreds, and at nighttime it's like 85 at the cool. So it's kind of, I don't know why this thing keeps heating so well. So in the wintertime it's good, I stay nice, and I got a little heater and stuff. But in the winter, or I mean in the summertime, I just struggle to find cool weather. So I had to install this, and I had to get a little portable generator, and then I run it off that. And I usually have to camp out in the desert every night because running a super loud generator in town, just, you can't do it. So, and then unfortunately I don't have a fridge because I didn't want to spend like $400. I'm pretty sure I could run one as far as all my amperage goes and my stuff like that. I found this super old Coleman ice chest at the thrift store for like $15, and I just had to have it. So you really dial in like what you need and what you don't need, and especially when you're grocery shopping, like, you know, stuff will go bad. If I don't keep ice on this, it will go bad. So it's just one of those things. Do you want to have, you know, that kind of stuff and have it go bad or whatever? So so facing this side of the rig, I'll show you my bed. Basically, this was like the only thing I really had to build in this whole thing. Everything else was here. I'll show you like the sliding mechanism. So basically it's like these like grooves of teeth. They just intertwine and slide to where when you pull them out they lock, and then when you put them back in they also lock. But I just have these little hooks right here that I unhook on each side, and then pretty much super easy, just slides right out, and then I just pull it a little bit, slides, drops down, throw my sheets on, and I'm good to go. So up here, like I said, these all slide. For my closet, this just opens up. I kind of wanted to keep my clothes nice and organized if I can, so these actually are nice because you could slide them up and down and kind of do whatever you want with them. But I have little bins and stuff for shorts and trunks and jeans, all that kind of stuff. But all my like t-shirts and long sleeve shirts are up here. It gets super hot and super cold. It's like the extreme of both. I have a big propane tank in one of the outdoor storages, and I have like a 12-foot hose that I run. This thing actually opens up. This is also like my chute for my dirty laundry. I just toss it in there and done, you know. But I run the cord up through here and feed it around, and then I just set my little Mr. Buddy heater right here. And that container is actually where they used to keep like the oxygen and stuff like that. So it's all vented and everything, so I don't have to worry about the gas like leaking in and stuff, because that's always been an issue. I also have a little carbon monoxide and dioxide detector, yeah. So I seriously, I don't know how I got so lucky to get a rig for so cheap. I think I'm in less than $5,000 total for the whole thing, like solar panels and everything. The wood was probably less than $100. All right, so I'll show you the outside of the rig. This is like, to me, what makes this thing what it is. Like, if it wasn't for the outside storage, I'd probably be screwed, honestly. This is where my closet's at on the inside. I just never open it. This is for my generator. Unfortunately, I do have to take it out every single time, so that's why I say I can't really stealth camp. It's like, can't just set a generator out and, you know. This one's nice because I keep my skis, snowboards, suitcase for when I do have to go in planes and go wherever. At first, I was definitely super timid to like cut a hole in my back door because I was like, what if it falls out, or I don't know. I just didn't want to do it, but once I just couldn't sleep anymore, I was like, I gotta do this. So I just grinded a hole in both sides. It's kind of hard getting through this stuff. But yeah, just cut it perfectly, slapped that puppy in, and then just caulked all around it and sealed it off, and it's been cool. So on my YouTube, you could check out one of the videos I made for a girl, Kate. She's sponsored by Ronick. She wakeboards, and she went to Dixie State University with me, and we were rock climbing one day, and something got brought up about her painting some guy's van, and I was like, hey, I got a van, I want mine painted. And then she started talking about her story, or like her diseases. She's got like six different autoimmune diseases that are just incurable. For people like Kate that, you know, do their day-to-day things, and you know, for her to excel in stuff like wakeboarding and do all these outdoor activities with having all these autoimmune diseases is like, it's crazy to me. And it's like, people think they're going through such like hardships, and it's like, that's minor, you know. Like her story and her life is like, it's crazy. So I did a day in the life with her. You could see more on her on one of my videos. But yeah, pretty much we had like 3 or 4 friends get together, and we just went to town on this thing. Kate was like the master on it, and just totally just nailed exactly what I wanted. The desert, the snow collide, and just like, it was super sick. So for me, the light was there as why are you still building someone else's dream when you can build your own? And it, like, as cheesy or whatever as people want to make it, it's like, it's so true. And like, to me, it's like, why am I giving my money away to make someone else sit there and, you know what I mean, like, make money while they sleep? While I'm working, they're sleeping and making money. It's like, that's not right. That's not the way I'm doing things, you know? So for me, it was more of that light of not wanting to invest in someone else's dream and just myself. And maybe that's me being selfish, but I think it's a great way to live. And like, once you get to the point where you're at now, it's like, I feel like I'm at the point where I'm starting to give back, and like, everyone, you know, contacting me and asking me questions like, dude, I want to do this van thing, and like, I'm inspiring people, and that's crazy. I would have never thought that. And that people ask me all the time, and it's like, you know, about the daily questions like we did in the tour, like the bathroom thing and how you do with the heat and, you know, just all the things. And like, you can do it. Anyone can do it. And I think the biggest thing that I would say to launch people in is to do it. Don't think too much about it, just do it, because you're going to figure it out. The way we're wired is to figure things out.